everybody. I am Racheal G. Palmistry. Welcome to Spiritual Psychics TV. I am a palm reader and I also do cards and a little bit of everything. If you've never tuned in before to see what I do, I'm relatively new to the channel here, and I am a claircognizant. Well, actually, I'm a little bit of every type of clair, to be honest with you. I'm also an empath, and I have a lot of eccentricities. Let's just put it that way, according to my family. I just want to say hi to everybody. Thanks again for joining in tonight. Make sure that you share, spread the word that Spiritual Psychics TV is now on YouTube. And make sure to explain to people that if they want to participate and get one of the readings from any of the readers on any of the programs here, that you do actually have to have an account with YouTube. That's very important in order for you to get your message through to the readers or someone like myself. And tonight I'm going to be reading some palms. Yes, it's possible. Gets a little crazy, but it is possible. And Richard, will you be posting your email, or how are we going to be doing that tonight? Okay. All right, so Richard is going to post that information, and what we need, though, is you need to take a photo up with using your cell phone or whatever you have, and it has to be of the hand that you write with, your dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, like I am, I would be taking a picture of my right hand. And you have to have from the wrist all the way out to the very tips of all the fingers. And make it as nice and clear as possible. And then just send that right over to Richard, and we'll see if we have enough time to pop it up on the screen and see what happens. Now, I do have to warn you, if you've never had a palm reading before, it is different than having a card reading. Let's just put it in simplistic terms here. With cards, there are pictures. They stand for something. You know, you shuffle them. And hello, all. And I know I'm not saying hi to all of you. I'm trying to explain all this. I'm a little off kilter today. I was talking to Richard about that a little earlier. But the difference between having a card reading and having a palm reading is that, you know, you have the card deck and you take the cards out, you do the reading, then you put the cards all back together, put them in a box, put them in a drawer. That's it. And then you leave the room, the client leaves the room, whatever, the reading's done, right? But with a palm reading, with the type of palm reading that I do, it's sometimes found to be intense, only in that you don't leave your hand in a drawer, do you? So what I see on your hand, you are walking around with. And sometimes that gets a little intense for people. Now, I don't believe in saying any bad things or anything like that. This is all positive. I have a very positive approach to doing my readings. But I just want to make it clear that if you are a very private person, then you may be uncomfortable having that type of reading on the internet for everybody to see. Hello, Michelle Rhodonite. You know I love Rhodonite. I remember your name because Rhodonite's one of my go-to stones. Hi there, lady. Okay. So, and if not, then please just ask for a card from me and we'll see what we can do. So, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, Lawrence. Great to see you here. Great to see you. Tonight, I have a tarot deck, which is I don't know if it's available in the shops yet, but I know it's available on the artist's website, I think. I'm hoping, since I'm saying this now. But it's called the Guardian of the Night Tarot deck. She sent me the deck because I actually donated money to have it printed. So it has a lot to do with this time of year, the changing of the seasons and everything, and I really like the imagery on it. So we're going to give that a whirl. And then I also have another deck that I've been using a lot over the course of the past couple days, actually, and it's an oracle deck, and it's called the Whispers of Healing Oracle deck, and it is more about your personal energy, like self-care kind of tips that you might want to think about to kind of give yourself a little bit of a reprieve from the day-to-day struggle that we all seem to be going through. So hi Stace, good to see you. I remember your name too from before. Yeah. Pardon? Oh, hi Jason, good to see you. Hi Maria, good to see you too. Christine, I recognize your name from before. Hi Libra. Libra. Ooh, are you actually a Libra? Hi Crystallize. Hi again, Rachel. Boundaries. Yes. See, Richard doesn't know that. I pulled a card earlier. I've been pulling a card every day on my Facebook page ever since I started going back online. Over the course of the past couple of days, I've been trying to make it a habit of doing a card a day for people, for like a general feel of what the vibe is out there for everyone. And the card of the day today, Richard, was boundaries. The card for yesterday was grateful. So the thing that I think we need to focus on for our readings for tonight is just that, is to question those things that we are grateful for, and to also understand that when we do create boundaries, that is not a bad thing, that we should actually embrace the adversity that we are going through. And now hang in there, because some of you might be like, what? Because adversity can be a really harsh word and a harsh reality. But the fact that we are able to witness change and be involved with change, possibly be and make the change for others in a good way, that's something to be grateful for, to be a part of it. But also, like today, the card was boundaries. Now, if we decide to say, today, I just can't do that. I can't do that for you. That's creating that boundary. Well, if somebody knows you for constantly turning right, making right turns your entire life, and then suddenly you tell them, today I'm going to go left, they're going to be like, what? What do you mean you're going to make a left? You always make a right. That's the kind of conflict I'm talking about. That's the kind of adversity I'm talking about. It's just a little general upset. It's okay to go through that, because with change and through adversity comes wisdom. Complacency, there's no growth in complacency. And so that's where the cards over the course of the past days, couple days that crystallized, just brought up, that's where the cards themselves have been heading, just to give you everybody a heads up as to what's going on. Yes, hi Heather. Oh, I like your little emojis. I really do. Rhonda, good to see you. Good to see you, Rhonda. Hazel, love the name. Look at the owl. Oh, it's a beautiful owl. Kelly, love to you too. Julie, good evening. Karen, love the name. All right. Well, Richard just informed me that we do have some poems that he's currently working on, so I'm going to pull a card, and I'm going to do it for Jason. We just passed. Oh, he sent me your Jason. Okay, so Jason, you're actually getting your palm read. I'm not gonna do a card on you. Sorry about that, but obviously I am called to give you a reading. So, okay, but you're gonna get your palm read since you did send that in. All right, so I think I'm going to do Libra. There we go. We just passed over Libra a second ago. Hi, Bridget. Good to see you. Okay, Libra. Just kind of get my focus back here. Give me 1 second here. I think I'm going to pull a tarot card for you. Now, tarot, as we know, are much more kind of black and white, whereas oracle cards are more gray. Okay? At least that's how I like to describe them when people ask me the difference between the types of cards. So, for you, let's see what tarot card comes out for you. And thank you again for having me on here, and thank you to all of you for joining in tonight and for Spiritual Psychics TV. Libra, this card is for you. It has some interesting energy to it too, I'll tell you. 7 of Swords. I hope you can see that clearly. Okay. Now, the traditional, you can see that the imagery on this deck, if you're familiar with the kind of the go-to deck, which is the Rider-Waite deck, the imagery is completely different from this. But the underlying themes are still there and incorporated in a very subtle way. Now, whereas in the Rider-Waite deck, the 7 of Swords has a man at maybe a jousting tournament, and he's carrying all of these swords away, well, I will say away, from the tents. So, is he taking the swords away? Is he stealing them? Or is he just moving them to a different spot within the tournament grounds? That's the question that you're often left wondering when you get the 7 of Swords. And he's carrying so much in his arms that the swords are often falling out of his arms in a lot of the different cards that are out there. But for this deck, look at this. I think this was pulled the last time I was on here with you, because I know that you like the imagery of this panther, Richard. I remember you saying that. So, with this, I'm going to ask you, Libra, are you, now this is kind of an abstract thing to say, but are you coming or are you going? With this, not only do you have almost an arsenal at hand, but you are at the ready. You are not comfortable. You do not, according to this card, I get the feeling, and also kind of just the weird eccentricities that I have, the sense that there's a part of you that does not feel like you are a part of a bigger pack. If you look at the animals in the background, they are leopards. You are on your own. This is a card almost of seclusion. This is a card of wondering. This is a card of worry. Now, because of this, I'm going to ask again, you need to really consider for your energy, what is the underlying theme that is causing this worry? Is it that you are bringing something new and trying to move into a new direction? Or are you trying to keep things the same and kind of protecting yourself from having to undergo that change? That is where this card is. Now, I'm also going to pull an oracle card for you because I do pick up on that sense of a little bit of a, let's just put it that way. I'll just stop right there. I'm going to pull a self-care card for you, okay? And there's nothing, no ill wind, you know, nothing like that intended with what I just said at all. It's just that we need a little levity. Okay, so, yeah, you agree with that, Libra? Okay. So here we go. This is your card. Learning. You can see the imagery on these oracle cards are completely different. They're very much like a illustrative watercolor card, watercolor painting, I should say. So, what can we do? We look at this card and we see somebody who is very uncertain. You, right now, need to dive deep. You have to do what often people call shadow work. We are going into, autumn. The air is changing. It's getting crispy out there. The leaves are falling. We're going to have more time on our hands. Go inward. Learn more about you. Learn more about what is that underlying fear about. What is that underlying sensation of not really being a part of the pack about? You have to understand that you also have the strength in you. You have so much wisdom. You have so very, very much wisdom. And there is, I also feel I need to say this, and at any point in time you can tell me, Rachel, shut up. I am blunt like that. I really, really am. But I'm going to tell you, it's okay to not fit in, and it's okay to feel like you are not a part of the pack, because Libra, maybe they're just not the right pack for you. That's all there is to it. Maybe you don't belong there. That's all. And that does not mean anything about you other than the fact that it's not supposed to be that way. Remember that. Think differently about what's going on. Go back, think hard. There's a child in this card. This goes deep. This is shadow work. I hope that helped a little bit, Libra. You're very welcome. And I hope that seemed a little intense to me. So I apologize if I did get very intense. Okay, we have some of those. Hi, Emma. Oh, shit. Hi. Oh, I love your dress. It's such a great green. Yeah. I also love that name. Siobhan. I'm talking to Richard over here. Like, hi, Siobhan. I love your name and I love your dress. I love that name. Hi, Liz. Hello, hello. Oh, okay. Ooh, boy. I see my. Okay. All right, Jason. It's time to have your palm read. Here we go. Ooh, look at that thumb. All right, first off, right away, you have a combination hand. There are 4 major types of hands: earth, air, water, fire, one for each major element. And then, of course, as I said, there are combinations between those different types. Now, right away, some things jump out at me about your hand. Now, obviously, you can probably see yourself that your thumb is very, very pronounced. Also, your Apollo finger, where you have your ring, and your Mercury finger, the little finger, have a completely different almost stylization compared to Jupiter, which is the index, and Saturn, which is the middle finger. Now, the length, the width, the overall appearance of them are different. What does that mean? That means you are a very strong character. People will come to you, and they will actually have you do the work for them. It's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing. It's just that you have a very pronounced Saturn finger. And if you are familiar with Saturn, and in palmistry, Saturn is kind of like that, let's just get it done no matter what. Very regimented, very almost military mindset of like, I don't care if we crush toes, it has to be done, it's getting done, and I'm going to do it. That's the mindset behind the Saturn finger. Now on you, Jupiter also is shaped the same as Saturn and Jupiter, aka Zeus, which is the index finger again. Now, he is about self-esteem, ego, bravado, okay, attitude. It's Zeus. Anything you could possibly say about Zeus is all wrapped up in that finger. Okay? So, and the fact that you have your thumb so very pronounced, very long thumb. So an interesting facet, though, with that is that the more pronounced the thumb is, that means that there is a part of you that will get a sense of anybody. This is for anybody. Anybody that has a very pronounced thumb will get a sense of validation by almost being accepted by others. That's a very important facet of who they are, is that they will seek acceptance, and that they will seek acceptance by doing things for other people. Now, with you, however, your thumb, the actual joint, the knuckle, this whole base part, which is the Mount of Venus, is set lower on your hand than where it normally would be for somebody with a prominent thumb like you have, which means that there is a little bit of an independent streak in you. So it's this weird dichotomy within you. You're an interesting character. When I said you're a very strong person, I do mean that. I mean, if you believe in something, the principle behind something, the ethics, the philosophy, if you believe it and you feel it in your heart, you will do what it takes to actually see it through to the end. Bravo, my friend. Bravo. Now, the other side of your hand that I want to point out is that your Apollo finger is actually so different. And remember, Apollo is the ring finger. Now, yes, Apollo and Mercury, they are about communication, but they're opposite ends of the spectrum. Mercury, which is the little finger, he's the very black and white, north, south, east, west, basic communication. He was the one that would say it's raining outside. And Apollo, his type of communication would be to say it's so dreary and gloomy, because he expresses things. So with that, you have the arts, you have self-expression, you have all different kinds of things, including self-care, because you're getting things off of your chest. Now, the difference here is that self-care, you have to stop putting self-care on the back burner. It might feel foreign to you, because it's almost like even the lines in your hand also say that there's this fortitude and tenacity in you to get things going. Once things start, you keep that momentum going, and I applaud you for that. But you also have to feed who you are. You have to. And the overall shape of your hand denotes that. You really, really have to take care of the elemental being that you are, which is a combination hand of almost this earthy, watery, fiery trifecta hand, which is a very rare style of hand to have that many combinations in one hand. Now, also, I'm going to say that you need to focus on those people that you let into your life, because your relationships, you are a very serious thinker. You are. Underneath it all, you will treat people the way you want to be treated. And if that doesn't happen, you may have a tendency to isolate. I get it. I'm kind of that way too sometimes, to just be raw and put that out there. But do not give up on you, because remember, you're human. We're all human. And we need to have those connections with people. Okay. Yes, because I cannot see what people are saying. So, okay. Yeah. So thank you for telling me, Richard. So I'm very happy to know that that's kind of clicking and meshing with what I'm seeing in your hand there, Jason. Thank you for letting me know. Now, don't give up on that aspect of you. Also, do not think that the way that you feel, if you do start to express your true feelings to people, don't doubt their validity. Meaning, don't have this self-doubt as to whether or not it will be received well. It will be received well. At first, people might be shocked to hear you being so very blatant and very forward with what you have to say and how you feel, because they're so used to you being very like, get it done, get that, that strength that you have. But if you start expressing, communicate that way with expression, how you feel in your soul about things and what that fire that you have is about, why it's there, it's going to open up a whole new area of life for you. It really, really will. And you will find a type of peace that you may not have known so far in life. I hope that helped a little bit, Jason. Yeah. All right. I do, there we go. Yes, I do see the comments. Richard's kind of playing around with the format as to what I can see here. So hang in there, everybody. So Liz, good to see you here. And Liz, would you like a card since you are on my screen? I would like to pull a card. Uh-huh. All right, perfect, Jason. Flipping back to Jason for a second there, Liz. Thank you. It was an honor getting to read your hand. I feel that that was very personal. As I said, that was kind of my disclaimer at the beginning. Hang in there. Don't give up. The way you feel about things, do not have that self-doubt. Do not have that self-doubt about how you feel about things and what makes you who you are, because that's just how important you are. You exist. That's how important you are. You exist. See things through to the end. Keep pushing. Very good, Jason. Yeah, thank you. All right, Liz, I'm pulling an oracle card for you. Let's take it up. Liz, you may not know it, but I get this feel, this sensation vibe from you that you're in a much better place than you know, actually. You have some doubt about that, but you are in a good place. You just need to center and you need to focus a little bit more. And hopefully this oracle card that I pull will actually give you a little bit of a visual to focus on. All right, and Richard, I actually have Jason's comment on the screen still. Okay. Yeah. Ah. Technology. All right. Nope, it is not. But Liz, this is for you. Okay, you she'll be able to see the card, right? Yeah. Okay. So Liz, this, yes, I have it now, Richard. This is your card, and it makes so much sense. Give back. Remember what I said about I get this sensation, this vibe, right? That you are in a better place than you know. You are. It's time to give back, meaning help those people, pay it forward. And also during this time, I also want to point out that you have a lot of peacocks in this imagery. So there is a divine protection influence around you. So whatever your personal beliefs are, say a prayer, do whatever, light a white candle. If you do attend any services or anything like that, thank your family, thank your loved ones, thank everybody, thank angels, thank everybody that is out there looking out for you, because now it's time to give back. And once you do start helping those people that are around you that might not be in such a, a frame of mind or a state of affairs that you are in, it will make you even more at peace than you are. And it will make those loved ones on the other side just, it'll make them so happy. I really get that intense feeling of care and emotion on the other side for you from them. And I don't know I have only dipped my toe in mediumship. So please give back. It's a very nice and lovely card to pull for you, Liz. Thank you very much for letting me do that for you. Good. I'm very happy to hear that. Very good, Liz. Very good. All right. Now, do we have another hand, Richard? Julie. Okay. All right. So we have a hand coming up. And will you be able to do it with the... Okay. All right. Okay. Technical glitches. All right. Now this is Julie's hand. Julie, I love your hand. Julie, do you like to bake? I look at your hand and I see somebody that makes something. I feel like baking and bread and things like that. I really feel that sense with you. And if you're not, well then, Julie, you better start. Give it a whirl. See what happens, okay? You might find your next passion. All right, so right off the bat, you have a cross between two types of hands. You have an earth and also a fire hand. Now, earth and fire, I also happen to be an earth and fire hand, and I can tell you self-care is 100% important, is actually the key to a fire hand. That without practicing self-care and knowing that fine line of doing too much, you can get to the point of where you have to have such a long and amount of recovery time that it will annoy you. Trust me on that. So with you, also, I want to say that you are an empath. I see lines in your hand indicating that you are an empath, so I do recommend that if you do not know or what that is, or if you haven't dived into any research in what it is to be one, to please do so. It will astound you, the information that is out there. And fire and earth, they have one thing in common. They both need to be fed. Earth side of you, which is this, through these fingers here, your thumb, your Zeus, your thumb, which is Venus, Zeus, and Saturn, the very earthy side. And also some fire and earth combination in different segments of your Mercury and Apollo fingers as well. But your palm itself is a true blue combination, which is rare to have a palm be a combination. Usually a palm is actually just a straight up element, just a singular element. So who you are at the core is somebody that really needs to pay attention to. And here is this key word again that Crystal Eyes brought up when she saw what I posted on my page earlier. Boundaries. You have to draw lines in the sand with people and say, don't cross this line right now. I need some time to recuperate. I need some time to recharge. I need to feed nutrients into my soil, and I need to feed my fire to keep it burning. Because the palm is what's closest to your soul, therefore that is who you are underneath everything and all this exterior that you present to society. Now, your fingers, on the other hand, that is literally those, I should say they are literally those little antennae and feelers that you use out there in the world that you grapple with, okay? So that is what people know you for. And when it comes to your communication, whether or not you know this, they see that you need. You've tried it. Oh, wonderful. I'm so happy. Oh, thank you for validating that. Thank you. I love it. Try some bread. Yes, please look up empath. If you ever need any kind of books or names or anything to help you on that journey, just find me, look me up on Facebook or whatever, and I will send over some information for you to look up on your own, give you some homework, so to speak. Now, what I need to tell you though is that the people around you can see that you, Julie, you are really working yourself ragged. You are. And this is before I even read that you were, what you did for a living, okay? It's that fact that your Apollo, which is the ring finger, and Mercury, your communication, has that fire and earth. And just like your palm, which I said is all about self-care. Well, if these are your communication fingers, people hear, people sense, people can see on you in the way that you express yourself. Julie really needs to have a little bit of a vacation. So I hope that you do start taking baby steps and maybe 5 minutes here and there, even if it's just once a day, to just kind of close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, okay, and just center, focus on you and how you feel. Because as an empath, and especially if you are not aware that you are an empath, which I can see that you are an empath, a lot of the emotions that you are picking up on and a lot of the anxiety and stress that is probably around you, you're carrying that burden, and a lot of those emotions just do not belong to you. And I know that may, and this is another word of the day, abstract. This may sound very abstract to say that, but you have the innate ability to walk into somewhere and kind of be like, I don't think I want to be here. You have that sense. You can just pick up on vibes and kind of size people up, right? And say, I don't want to shake their hand. Yeah, I don't want to know them, right? You have that in you. Well, if somebody you love or someone you care about is upset, you're going to feel upset for them. But that emotion, is it truly yours? But you will still carry it, won't you? Think about that. I know you're a hard worker. You need to give yourself, your energy, some breathing room, some time to breathe, some time to relax before you go back out there. You deserve it. Your energy carries a lot of burden, and try some bread. Really try some bread. I also want to say on your hand that the older you get, people respect you. Already they respect you more than you actually know. Just like, because they can see and they can sense that you are giving it all that you have. And I have this weird Star Trek reference in my head, forgive me everybody. But yes, please give yourself some time. They can see it, they sense it, and they respect you for it. And even if you pull back a little bit to allow yourself to dive into a new hobby or some form of self-expression to just kind of release that tension that you're carrying, they will respect you even more, and you will become more of a role model than you already are. And once you start to do that and go into that self-expression, that self-exploratory area, you are going to be using and making decisions with that empath side. Everything says that down in this area of your hand, which is the mouth of Luna or the mouth of Selene, same goddess, Greek or Roman. Okay? And the fact that you have that line down there means that that is who you are to the core. Listen to your inner voice, that little gut, that little voice in your gut. It will guide you. Listen to it. It's there to be heard. I hope that helped, Julie. I truly do. I hope that helped. Thank you for validating that it's true. Okay? Thank you. And try some bread. Make some bread. Bread is so healing. Really, really, truly is. Okay. hmm Hazel. All right. I'm going to do a reading for Hazel now. Very quickly, Julie, remember, if you do need any type of resources or to look anything up, just find me wherever you can find me, and I'll get some resources out to you. Now, this is for Hazel, Richard. Okay, you sound like a robot. Technical difficulties. Yes, I see it all now. And this is for Hazel, correct? Okay. Oh, I love you, Richard. you, Richard is so hard at work. He is so hard at work over on the other end. Oh, okay. Okay. Hazel, love your hand. I do. Love your hand. Right away. right away. What is it with these dominant thumbs and dominant Zeus and Saturn fingers? Everybody tonight. Wow. Okay. Couple things right away, as you are also an empath. Bingo. Right away. That's the first thing I was drawn to, was that you are an empath. And I can also tell you, when it comes to standing up for your opinion on things, whether it be to resolve an argument or to interject a different view on something, you are going to have to start using it with that very abrupt, like, because I said so approach. Because a lot of the people that are around you, they're not really going to understand when you start saying, this is how it makes me feel, and using the more emotional approach to things. Now, with that quickly being said, Hazel, I also see that you wanted a card. So I'm going to do one more quick thing with your palm, and then I'm going to pull an oracle card for your energy. But remember what I said, and heed what I say, that when it comes to even clarifying your stance on something, whether it be an argument, an upcoming argument, something like that, just a difference, a disagreement, something like that, stand up for you. Stand up for how you see it. Stand up for how you know things are going to kind of trickle down, the end result. You have the ability to just kind of know how the end result is going to play out, as the kids say, because you are an empath. And I also want to let you know that, Hazel, you are going to have to understand your own strength, because you have 2 lines in the center of your hand. And my pen is missing. Anyway, you have 2 lines through the center of your hand, whereas you should only have 1. Now, a line that goes this way, right? That is actually something called a presence line. Now, that kind of shows how people respect you, like if they will hold off on calling the dinner table, because Hazel's not here yet, that kind of thing, if they will put you up, it's just how well respected you are, their opinion of you. And let me tell you, they really, really do value your opinion on things. They really, really do. But Hazel, way down deep inside, you have to stop squashing down that true knowledge that you contain. Because since you have 2 presence lines, that means that for a very long time, you have been doing and saying one thing to people while thinking and feeling another way inside. You have to stop that. You have to. Stand up for you. Stand up for what you know is the truth. Stand up for what you know will happen. And you'll be amazed at how differently people will perceive you. It'll be a very positive thing, even more positive than it is now. Now I'm going to pull an oracle card for you as well. That was my Bluetooth speaker. I apologize. Okay. So I hope that helps just a little bit, Hazel, but let's pull your oracle card too. Interesting. I'm getting a lot of empaths and a lot of hard workers tonight, Richard. Okay. Now, Richard. Okay. This is your card, Hazel. What did I say about those two presence lines? Okay. Can you see it now? Two. There we go. See, I just have this little tiny, maybe 1 inch by 1 inch image that I can see myself in. So I hope you can see that. All right. So as you see on the bottom, it says get clear. Now, remember, I said for a very long time you have been doing and saying one thing with everybody around you, whereas inside you are squashing down the truth that you know to be a fact, and you're holding it in. And that's a lot of angst to hold in, isn't it? Get clear. Clear it all out. Focus. Focus on that truth. Get clear. I hope that helped, Hazel. Thank you for letting me read your hand. Okay, let's do another card, Richard, for somebody. Okay. Now I just have a black screen, everybody. Oh, okay. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. I'll be a good girl. I promise. I'll quietly take a drink. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull a tarot card for somebody, and I'm just waiting on some technical glitches to pass. I do not. Nope. I still have a Hazel. I'm sorry, Richard. It says I do not see Hazel's hand. I just see Hazel and her comment. It's Hazel. Mm-mm. Nope. Just here. I have Heather. The Oracle cards are actually called, this is for Michelle, they're called the Whispers of Healing. This is what the box looks like. Okay. And they are done by Angela Hartfield. Creative Living, I'm going to do a card for you. Now, Creative Living, I'm torn between an oracle and a tarot card for you. So let me just quickly, I'm going to do an oracle card for you. Is there a big change that you're contemplating, creative? Not creatively, but I'm just calling you creative instead of saying creative living. Is there a big change ahead, some kind of decision? It's all right if there isn't. means this is your oracle card. Hidden blessings. Hidden blessings. So with this, as I said, we have a lot of transformation. We're going into something that's called the shadow time, shadow work. We are becoming very introspective. We're going to have some time on our hands, aren't we? Okay, thinking of changing your situation's been put on hold. Okay. Well, this, my friend, is the hidden blessing. The fact that it has been put on hold. That's what this card means. So I hope that you can see this imagery very clearly and closely. There's a lot going on in this card. Almost, if you can imagine looking at a where are they? I love it. No, you need to look at the minutia, the tiny microcosm, the details that you are not looking at right now, that are not very obvious to whatever is going on, whatever this change is. You need to look at every little tiny detail about it before you can actually go ahead and do it. And the hidden blessing is that you actually are having what I will call a time out in order to be able to do just that, to focus on it more, to almost dissect it. If we notice here, she is looking into the very center of a flower, and there is a whole little tiny city in there. Pay attention to every tiny detail, because that's where you are going to find those significant answers, or in those details that you may have overlooked right now. That's the hidden blessing. Hope that helped a little bit. I love your sarcasm. Okay, let's do another card, Richard. Oh, you do? Okay, let's do a hand then. Michelle Rhodonite. Oh, I used to have so much rhodonite jewelry. Wow. Okay. All right. Should I take another drink of my tea? This is hilarious. I love this. This night's going so good. I love it. I do, Richard. I love it. Okay. It's the human side of things. Come on. Okay. All right, Michelle. Bravo on your hands. First off, I need to tell you, it's okay to take the mask off. I think you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that you have assumed a role or anything. I'm saying that, you have the actual placement of Saturn and Apollo on your hand at the base of your fingers. Says that the closer somebody gets to know you, the closer they get to who you truly are, you will put up a mask. You will be like, what? A little kind of protective device so that they just don't get in that fast to who you are. When those two fingers are close together on the hand, it's a type of quality that is actually seen in a lot of professional actors, believe it or not. People that are also politicians, believe that or not. And it's that they have to put on a front, in order to get through in life. And as you see at the tips of your fingers, you are pretty straightforward when it comes to how you feel about things. Meaning, you express very well, you practice self-care to a point. You do put others before yourself, though, but when it comes down to it, you do understand, hey, it's time for me to take care of me. But there will come a point in time that the closer people get to you, whether it be any type of relationship, even at work, Michelle, any type of relationship we're talking about, that wall will go up, and you'll just kind of peek over the wall and be like, oh, hey, you can just stay right there for right now until they kind of pass that test, whatever test that may be, but that's the word that's popping in my head. Now, another thing is that your presence line. Oh, there's also something very interesting with your hand. Richard, is it possible to pump up the contrast at all tonight? Okay. We're just going to pump up the contrast a little so I can see a certain line on your hand, Michelle. Yes, please. Oh, perfect. That's perfect right there. Okay, Michelle, you have something on your hand at the very beginning of your relationship line, which now I understand why you have that little kind of protection thing that you put on, like that little piece of armor that you put on at the last minute. There is somebody, according to the lines in your hand, somebody very close to you that you actually knew in a past life, that's in your current life with you in your path. So they have the qualities of Saturn, that you do it, it gets done, I make sure it gets done. Excuse me for saying so, but I will say, like the old adage, come hell or high water, that very kind of authoritative, this is how it's being done, listen to what I'm saying. That kind of authority figure is in your life. Now, I don't know if that yep is confirming what I just said or not, but okay. So that's an interesting bit of information there. You don't have two close friends. It's okay. It's okay. Now, the other thing is that because that person is in your life, you have a lot of doubt lines. Let's think about it. If Saturn is that very, doesn't care if toes get stepped on or what happens, because if something has to get done, it gets done, right? Saturn, the Titan god. Well, your personality is not really, this might be misinterpreted, but let's look at it this way. If you're standing in front of Saturn and you try to tell Saturn, hey, Saturn, I don't like what you're saying because it makes me feel whatever, do you really think Saturn's going to care? It's Saturn. So you have self-doubt lines underneath those fingers that would do just that, would want to express to that person how you feel about something. So you have self-doubt lines underneath Mercury, which means that there's a part of you that feels that even if you spoke your own personal truth, what you hold true, like your own personal ethics and what makes you tick, that if you were to express that and actually convey that to somebody, that they wouldn't understand it. Those lines are on your hand, and I'm going to tell you why. That's because of the experience with that person that has that Saturn-like energy. So think about who is in your life. Now, we oftentimes, this is also why I like to look at the left hand. They gave me a cold shiver through my whole body about a person from my past life. Who is it? Well, This is why you need to do some detective work, okay? Now, we often, I like to look at the left hand as well. Like I say left hand because obviously you write with your right hand. That is your dominant hand. So that means that your left hand is a map to your past lives. And every life that we have, if we are all energy, right? And energy cannot be destroyed as a scientific fact. It just changes form. Then there go every experience we've ever had is braided into the fabric of our energy, is it not? So I sometimes like to think of a higher authority. Now, excuse this, but this is often the imagery that's in my head. It's a higher authority, a source, God, whatever your personal beliefs are, right? Kind of like picking up the dice that are us, right? Us humans, and is putting us in a cup and like rolling the dice and say, let's let it roll out and say, let's see what happens this time with these guys. Let's see how it plays out this time. So pay attention to your self-doubt. Is it that things happened in your past life that make you timid in this life to stand up for what you believe in? Are you just making an assumption that you will not be heard? Are you making an assumption that people may not agree with you? Are you making an assumption about how people perceive you because of that past life experience? I'm very curious as to what your left hand looks like, Michelle. I really am. But all this explains why you do have that close set knuckle situation in the bottom segments of your Saturn and Apollo fingers. So do some homework on that. Do some homework on that. I also want to say, well, you feel things so very deeply. Please share it. Do you write poetry by any chance? I feel like you need to write. You also have the line of somebody who would get a release from writing. You might want to consider that. And if you don't feel like actually picking up a pen or pencil and using the physicality of the hand to do it, just do some, stream of consciousness on the computer. Open up Word or do whatever you have to do and just get that out and see what happens. Create your world where your truth is the lay of the land. I almost feel like a fantasy world coming out, whether you were to write a book or I don't know. I really see you creating a world. If that makes any sense, Michelle, let me know. And I hope that helped. And wear more rhodonite. The nurturing stone. Can't get enough rhodonite. Okay. Okay. Did you say an Emma? Let's do Emma. Ah, your friend. Okay. That makes sense. That makes absolute sense. That makes sense. Please, Michelle, write about it. Please write about it. Not just about the friendship itself, but create your personal world in and through words, on paper, on a computer, whatever you have to do. I really do see you as, I'll just say it, being successful as writing, whether it be actually coming up with a series of books or just writing poetry, but getting that self-expression out there, and that wall will slowly come down, and that independence that you need, that strength that you need, that esteem that you need will just come naturally to you. Stay in touch. Okay, so this is, hi Lisa. So this is Emma's hand. Okay. Okay. All right. So with you, my friend, you actually have an air palm with very earthy fingers, which is also a very rare combination. You guys are, Richard, you're throwing all these palms at me tonight. Now, air hands, out of any of the hands that I see, they probably make up maybe, I don't know, maybe 10% of the people I see, all in all, okay? The majority of the people I see happen to be earth hands, which I will probably write a book about that myself someday. But what can we say about air? Well, the element of air in palmistry has the ability to put wind in the sails of something, of a ship, to make it move forward. It can also do the reverse and make it go back to shore so it can't go anywhere, or it can just decide to not blow at all. And if we want to go into tarot and the cards and everything, the suit of air are swords, which are often associated with conflict. Now, with you, since you have that air quality palm, the palm is who you are in your heart. So there may be a sense that people, that you may interpret, okay, that you have a sense that people just do not understand you. And that's because of that air quality that you have. You do not have a very common shaped palm. And the palm, as I said, is what's closest to your heart. So that's who you are underneath everything that you present out there in public. And again, you also have very strong Saturn finger, a very strong Jupiter, aka Zeus finger, and Apollo. But the thing is that your Venus finger, this whole area is called the Mount of Venus, doesn't really have to do with love. More so it has to do with societal interaction. So we're talking about everybody, not just love, right? We're talking about just coming across people. Thank you for validating that for me, Emma. And so we're talking about work. We're talking about just going to the grocery, running into somebody at a bank, you know, just situations. How you are with people can all be seen in this area, this entire area of the hand. Now with you, your thumb is so low set and actually curves out. Yeah, I know, kind of like mine. Kind of like mine. So that means that not only do you have this air side of you, of this extreme, right, inner conflict, but there is a side of you that's also like, you know, it's very, how do I put this? You have a strength of will about you, which is good. And it is actually a gift. And I will tell you why. If you have these earthy fingers, earth hands are always the ones who are automatically giving nutrients to people. People will come up to them and say, hey, can you do this? Hey, what if I did this? And you're constantly giving them attention, time, nutrients, etc., and you zap yourself dry of any nutrients and any reserve. And that's what the majority of your fingers are, right? But guess who you are down to the core? You have the gift of knowing when to, and we're circling way back to the beginning of this whole evening, which is a great note to end on tonight. Boundaries. You have an innate ability to know, I think they're taking advantage of me. I think I've given them a little too much and they're not giving me anything in return. And that's not a bad thing when it comes down to it, because if you give somebody all of your time, all of your attention, everything that you are, and when push comes to shove, if you feel broken and you just can't pick yourself up and you need an assist and they're not willing to just reach out and say, here, let me help you, that's not good. And you, my friend, have that innate ability to identify that facet in people. So you will know when to stop. You have that, I can't swear, but the Brooklyn in me is like wanting to swear right now. There's something called a blank detector, meaning that almost like a lie detector, but it's a derogatory term over here, meaning that you can see right through the stuff down to the true meaning behind everything and whether or not they will come through to you. And that is because you have a gift. And now when it comes to any type of work, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to anything like that, yeah, you're not really going to be understood, because the people that will be attracted to know you and kind of attracted to the energy that you give off, they're going to only be sensing these earthy fingers of yours, which are those nutrient pumpers, those nutrient givers. And then when they get to know you, they're going to be like, wait, why isn't she giving me any more nutrients? So that's where that conflict comes down to the core. Does that mean, yes, I know you can see right through people, Emma, and it is a great, great quality. Now, I don't know what you do for work, but you really, I don't know. I really get the sense that you need to be like some kind of profiler or something. I mean, I see some kind of like legal stuff with you. I don't know, not that you are going through a legal issue, but I mean that you potentially actually go into that field professionally in some capacity to just be able to help people because of the gift that you do have. Keep that in mind, all right? And it's okay to express who you are. And also, though, I need to warn you, and this isn't a horrible warning, but don't isolate. There is going to come a time when people are going to be, Emma, let's just go have some fun. That you are going to be around people who just want to spend time with you and don't care about that inner conflict that you have, that they will be there to put the wind in your sails and help you move along and to help you grow. But right now, it's not your concern. Do not focus on whom and where you should put your energy. You just need to focus on the fact that there are people out there that respect you, respect the gift that you have. And if they don't right now, they're coming. They're right on the horizon. They are. And when it comes to any kind of work that you do, please, maybe you're interested in some kind of law or anything, like going into law or doing any kind of just being a receptionist somewhere that has to do with law. I really think that that would fascinate you, and I think that the deeds and the good work that you have ahead of you would be really appreciated by that type of facet of people. So I hope that helped, Emma. And let me know. And keep in touch. Thank you all for coming tonight. And I didn't even talk about, actually, you're at art school. Emma, this is great, actually, Emma. The fact that you can see right to the core of people. Do you know how great that is to have that if you are going to become a professional artist? Have you ever thought of going into art direction? Think about it. And I don't mean graphic design. The type of art direction that I'm talking about over here in the U.S. is somebody who can actually see the, how do I put this, kind of like how things are selling, the interest that people have, doing like peer group studies, things of that nature, and being able to create a forecast as to how to create any type of publicity or anything for a product, and then design the product underneath that gamut, underneath that umbrella for people to have it be a success. That might be something you're interested in. It might be something you might want to think about. Okay. Okay, tomorrow night we have Live with Spirit, and that is 8 o'clock UK time. Oh, and that's with Simon tomorrow night. I don't think I've actually seen it, but I will have to start tuning in again. And then next month we have Polly Harnett and Leah, and with trance demonstration. Ooh, that sounds absolutely fascinating. It's going to be a Zoom event, and if you do sign up for it, a password will be sent to you via email. So please make sure to check your email and make sure that if you do sign up, that the password doesn't get sent into your spam or into your trash folders. And also remember to become a patron of Spiritual Psychics TV. Okay, that is how we keep these readings free for people. So let me see. Oh, a final word from Emma. Trained to be a designer, but struggling with it. I'm interested in psychology of people. There's that. You're very, very welcome, Emma. You're very, very welcome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for stopping by tonight, and I am being very serious when I say it was an honor letting me read your poems, because I do take it very seriously, and I know that it can be very intense. And thank you very much. Thank you, Richard, for having me yet again. And yeah, Lisa, Siobhan, oh, you're very, very welcome. And that pretty Kelly green shirt, that dress, oh, it's so pretty. I love that color green. Mr. and Mrs. B, thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please check me out on Facebook. I always have some random card of the day that I pull. And as I said, the actual general theme today, when I pulled a card for today, was boundaries. And look at where we are tonight. It's a little weird how things come full circle. Thank you once again, everybody, and good night.